Hey y'all, I'm Todd Bailey.
What's up? It's Arie Lombardozzi.
And this is fucking Brewtal.
Get in the pit, stock up the fridge, and listen. We're here to cover the latest in metal news and craft beer. A match made in hell.
If it makes you bang your head, then we want to hear it. If it tickles your taste buds, share those suds.
Turn it up to 11.
Crack open that beer.
It's about to get brutal.
What's up, Hopwolves? It's your boys, Todd and Arie, coming at you with episode 90 of Brewtal Podcast. New milestone hit, man. 90 fucking episodes. Also, this is a great special that we're doing because we're doing the best of Q3. So that's July, August, September. We're picking the top EPs, Brewtal EPs, albums, Brewtal albums, top beer, song, and band. So it's going to be a grand old time. We always love these. These are pretty much our bread and butter, meat and potatoes. Let's make a whole smorgasbord of food puns.
Adult lunchable, aka a charcuterie board.
Talking facts.
Yeah. So what's good before we get into our beers?
Well, I have had to deal with a hailstorm which destroyed my car.
Oh, so you saw the band.
That's right. And I'm calling them out here. No, dude, fucking Austin, man. Just a random hailstorm that lasted maybe a couple hours. Threw baseball-sized hail through my windows. So I had to get both the back and front windshields replaced, which took about 4 days because I had made an appointment through my insurance, but they couldn't show up until Thursday. This happened Sunday night. So it's been a long week, a long time coming, but I'm finally back in my vehicle, which makes me feel whole again. So, yeah.
Did you get the safe light repair, safe light replace?
I did. And it's been on repeat in my mind, that jingle. So. Something else that's been on repeat in my mind is I am going to see Harm's Way November 4th in Austin at Mohawk. I'm pretty stoked. It's a new venue, if you will. Not new in the essence that it's a new place, but like I usually go to come and take it live, and I'm glad I'm kind of going somewhere else to see some metal. It's going to be them, Ingrown, Fleshwater, which I'm excited for, and then Jive Bomb. The other two don't really know much about, but I heard a song or two on Spotify, and I'm for it. So I think it's going to be a good show. We'll talk about it here in a little bit, but Harm's Way just dropped the album that I'm excited for. So that's one of my highlights for Friday is that album. I've already listened to it a couple times, and it's a good jam. Good jam.
Did you do the Running Man while listening to the new Harm's Way album?
Throughout the station, man, people thought I was going crazy.
No, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. And you're just like, get out of Harm's Way.
I'm running.
No, I am also excited for that. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to it. And also that you're going to go, that show's going to be wild for sure. I love that you're going to see Fleshwater as well. One of my favorite like newer bands, which there's a lot of members of Vane in there.
I think it's like me that.
Mainly Vane, but like the singer I think she does vocals on Vane too. I don't know. I think there's some weird inner workings there, and I'm here for it because they're not like, it's not hardcore. It's like a weird like shoegaze.
I don't know how to
with hardcore
it
element. Yeah, I don't know. Really cool. Anyway, that'll be sick. But yeah, Sky Night, it was a whirlwind of apartment hunting. We saw 3 this week. I hope we get 1 because it's fucking sick. That would be nice. And then I have a really cool gig tomorrow that I'm actually very excited for. It's my friend Ballant, who I met earlier on another documentary shoot. His company has been doing a documentary about, there's a school here called Brashear, which was one of the first high schools to have integration. And also like, it was like one of the first schools to be built like straight up in the time period. So I think it was the 70s that it was built. I don't know. But anyway, like the story is really cool. And it's about how like overcoming social stigmas and just focusing on the kids really to get them the best education and like a safe space for them. there's like a big reunion this weekend. It's like the 50-year reunion. So I'm going to be helping out with sound, which I'm really excited for. They had like a little bit of a showing of the footage that they have so far. It looks great, and I think it's a really important story. So happy to be a part of that. Yeah, that's it. That's what's going on in your boys' world. Hopwolves, you know what it is. We're starting out. We got the beer breakdown. Hit that China, crack that beer, motherfucker. Take it away, buddy. We all know you got the lower ABV.
I almost thought I would have had you beat with this one, but when I looked at the can, I was like, really? 5.8? Okay, fine. But
they do have a double of this one, I will say. It's equally as good.
Well, today I am happy to present PSEUDO because I love the cover art. I'm a big Jurassic Park fan, so it's got a little T-Rex on here in green and purple. Think like Joker colors, if you will. Background of the can, though, is very silvery, pretty much almost. They didn't even add any color to it. Like
I'm blinded by that thing, dude.
I know, it's so bright. Yeah, I love how much this pops. So that instantly like drew me to it when I saw it on the shelf. I do a lot of pick six at HEB, which is a grocery store here in Austin. And I'm glad they have that option because I'm always finding new stuff. And what's cool about this, it's actually from Iowa, Decorah, Iowa. And I almost said Idaho, and I mixed the two.
Right, because they're the same state.
Close enough. On the side of the can, though, it says this single hop pale ale showcases the citra hop for a well-balanced beer that is delicate in body with a mild bitterness to the finish. It's got a ferocious hop aromas of citrus and mango, which give it a refreshing taste that is bright with just enough bite, which I'm going to say, hence the little dino on here. Do you happen to know anything about this brewery? Again, it's actually, I don't even think I mentioned the brewery. It's Toppling, Goliath,
real nice
brewing company. I'm really selling this product. You said you had this one before. Do you know like anything behind the can art? Do they have like a dinosaur there named Sue or anything like that?
I don't know any backstory about that particular. Actually, I don't really know much about the brewery. I know Toppling Goliath. They make really stellar beers.
Nice.
I think it's their like Assassin. They have like a barrel aged stout that's like really coveted for beer trading and stuff like that. But they make quality stuff. I've had the PSEUDO. I think I've had the double as well. Yeah. Anyway, like I'm really excited for you to have that one. That's a really like crisp, clean beer. And
I want to show off it in a glass here too. It's almost like a hazy because you can't see through this thing, which I'm all for. I had a really good head when I poured it out. I liked just the layer it had. And I love the color. It's very much like an orange, maybe a little amber, a little straw yellow in there. Let's get one off the palate, though. Actually, I'm going to smell it first.
You need to turn into a dinosaur.
It's going to be that scene from Step Brothers.
Dad, you can't be a dinosaur.
That's refreshing, dude. And honestly, this must be the kind of pale ale I really like, the single hop, because I've had other pale ales, but they're hit or miss. So I feel like from my nostalgia, like the first time I had a couple, I want to say it's a single hop. That's my favorite because I am enjoying the hell out of this. I really love the flavor with the citra. Very smooth too. Sometimes these get to me like on the back end, it's kind of got like an aftertaste and it kind of feels funny too, but so far so good with this. I'm really enjoying it. And compared to the dino on the side. So I'm going to give 2 thumbs up for this. I recommend for anyone listening in, maybe interested, want to try this. I found it in Austin. It's from Iowa, so it's out there in the wild. The dinosaurs have been let loose from the park, so go get yourself a PSEUDO.
That's one of their staple beers, I know, for a reason. I remember it being like very crushable. Could have a couple of those. Yeah. Good color, good flavor. Yeah. Toppling Goliath knows what they're doing. So excellent choice there, friend. Today, as we all know, I've been on a spooky kick, and well, it's not even a kick, it's a lifestyle. But particularly now that it is quote unquote acceptable, there's been a plethora of festivus beers, if you will. I got another one, is what I'm getting at. Today, I have All Hallows Treat from Brewery Ommegang, and this is exciting because like I've had this one now a couple times, but I've never had this one prior to this year. Our friend Rob, shout out Rob Luger, back in the day, he showed both of us not this beer, but Brewery Ommegang with their Three Philosophers, which is a really stellar fucking Belgian Tripel. So they're more of like a classic brewery, but you know they have stuff like this for
tricks up their sleeve.
Yeah, they got a few tricks for sure. But what this is, it's an Imperial Chocolate Peanut Butter Stout coming in at 7.6% ABV with 18 IBUs. Excuse me. They are from Cooperstown, New York. And just for everyone watching, you can see, but everyone listening, I love the fucking can art for this. It reminds me of like the comic for why am I blanking on this right now? Creepshow. I'm like, God damn, I'm gonna fucking but it reminds me a lot of Creepshow and that kind of like style. But on the front there, we've got nice bold orange, the classic orange for Halloween with some cool typography like you would expect. But if we get rotating here, it says like grains coming from the grave. You got your bats, your ghosts, you've got your zombies coming out. Yeah, it's great. I really like what they're doing here. So even if it wasn't a beer that I'd want to try anyway, because I love a good Imperial Stout, especially like a dessert type of stout, I would have bought this for the can alone. So per the can, it says, sweet and spooky like the perfect Halloween night, All Hallows Treats rekindles your favorite childhood holiday memories. Yes. Aromas and flavors of dark chocolate, creamy peanut butter, and a soft vanilla finish swirl with a smooth body and medium mouthfeel, excuse me. Perfect throwback that brings you to your first bite of a chocolate peanut butter cup. Big Reese's fan over here, so anytime I can, and I like how they said peanut butter cup as if we don't all fucking know what they're talking about. Right. But that's good. That's good. CYA, cover your own ass. Cover your ass. You know, I can't talk today for whatever fucking reason. Let's crack it open. On the nose, smells like a peanut butter cup. I'm here for it. Last time I had this one, it was room temp, so I have it cold. And that does, like a lot of times with these types of beers, it does play in a factor. Stouts are usually pretty temperature, like it affects it a lot. So cheers, Hopwolves.
I'm excited for you with this, man. I love certain dessert beers, if you will, and I have such a terrible sweet tooth. So,
yeah, same, dude. It's actually becoming a problem, but that's neither here nor there. This is really good, dude. It does have that medium mouthfeel, like they said. It is very smooth, so that's all true. I get more of the peanut butter on the front end with a little bit of chocolate on the back, which is cool. With stouts, like this one actually, like the mouthfeel and the body kind of reminds me of a porter. So like that is kind of cool. A lot of the times with these types of beers, though, I know I've said this numerous times, I wish it was just kind of like a little bit thicker, but I say that lightly because if it's too thick, then it's almost like a struggle to get through. So this is a nice balance between like having that porter and stout with this type of flavor profile. But yeah, I mean, I can still feel the peanut butter predominantly like on my tongue. So like the aftertaste is enjoyable. There's no weird, because sometimes with stouts, not necessarily with these ones in particular, but it gets like a little bit too bitter, usually with like coffee when that's in there and it's porter. So I'm just kind of rambling at this point. It's good. I do like it. Let's get another one. Yeah, this one, if I had to like say anything like a little bit of a flaw, it tastes a little bit more like booziness to it. It still has the flavors of the chocolate and the peanut butter. But again, I just wish it was kind of like a little bit more prominent. But that's just a small little little thing for myself. I like it. I think the whole presentation is great. Love the look of it. Love the taste of it. And this one, I could have like probably at least another one, which for this again, this flavor profile is pretty impressive. So all hell's treats. I'll take it. Hell yeah, Brewery, Ommegang. Cheers, Hopwolves. Spooky season. Let's fucking get it.
Hell yeah, man. What is also spooky in a good way. It's so frightening how good these lists are. We are going to talk about the albums that have dropped today, which is 9/29, end of September. Start us off with the albums of the day. We have 20 ready to go, slotted for you to check out. Arie, start us off.
Let's get it. Here, Hopwolves. We're starting with As in Hell, all one word, with IMPERIAL.
Yeah.
I think. Blackest Dawn with Twisted Place EP. Broken Vow with Anthropocene. Code Orange with The Above. I know that one's going to be very polarizing for fans. I'm still very excited. I love Code Orange. They actually have their first Codes World tomorrow as of recording. That's going to be going down at Preserving Underground, and that lineup is sick. I could talk about that a little bit later.
Codes World.
Party time, mosh, excellent. But following that, we have Death Speaker. That's all one word, but the D and the S are capitalized. Wow, come on, brain. That is their self-titled, and that's an album. Then we have Disguise Malignance with Entering the Gateways. Nice. Then we have Eileen. It's ELYNE with Identity. I'm just going to fuck that up, and you guys can look it up. The Hopwolves. I'm giving you a little bit of extra homework there. Then we have Brewtal alum Eyes of Perdition with the Great Pushback EP. Fuck yeah. Didn't realize that was dropping, but very excited to hear some new music from those homies. Then we have GOREHAMMER with Vapor Void. That is the supergroup that has a couple people from Angel Maker. I know Johnny Chardulo's in there, and one of the guitarists, I'm blanking on his name. But then also Cameron from Disfiguring the Goddess is in there. Big Chocolate, if you will.
Big Choco, yes.
Yeah. I don't know. The younger Hopwolves might not know that portion of his career, but it's good shit. And so is that EP. Then we have Grove Street with The Path to Righteousness, Harm's Way with Common Suffering, Kubrick Stare, and Kubrick is spelled with a V instead of a U, with Hell Again EP. Then we have Origins with Edge of Abyss. I really like the album art for this one. It's got like a giant squid, I think, on the side of it. Anyway, it looks cool. Pretty fucking cool. Then we have Avanola, and this one's spelled kind of differently. Of is OV, and then Anola, it's all one word, but the E is capitalized, with their Underwater EP, which is a nice segue from Origins. Didn't even make that connection till now. Then we have Rat King with Psychotic Reality, Ruin Lust with Dissimulant, Sempris with A Fractured Reality EP, Taproot is back with Scissors, and that's spelled SC/SSRS, all caps. Then we have Termina with Soul Elegy, that's Nick Nocturnal and Andy Sizak. And then finally we have Terra Builder with Solar Temple. So, as always, friend, what's doing it for you this week? And what are you looking forward to if you haven't listened to most of these, like I haven't?
I have listened to a handful, and so I listed those. GOREHAMMER for sure. Talk about them in a little bit. We have Code Orange as well. I actually liked it, but they went further down that rabbit hole. That's all I can say.
Well, no, they're above it now, dude.
That's right. Yeah.
Come on.
Somehow going...
It's like coming out the other. It's like when you dig the hole to China, you come out the other way.
Exactly.
And it's the above. I don't know. I'm sure there's something in there.
I also was really digging Taproot. It's the first album in 11 years.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about. But I love what they did with this. There's some songs that are like, I could have done without, but like they brought the heavy when they needed to. And if you loved his singing voice as well, it's there. So I would say a good comparison would be Welcome. Yeah.
Oh, then yeah, that's good.
After that, Harm's Way, man. I was like I talked about earlier. I was looking forward to this one. That was the first one I listened to, and yeah, oh yeah.
That's what's up, dude. Also, speaking of Harm's Way, if you haven't listened to it, Hopwolves and Todd, Hard Lore podcast is a really fun one to listen to. That's got Bo, who's the guitarist in Harm's Way, and then Colin Young, who is in God's Hate and Twitching Tongues and like a bunch of other projects. But that's a really cool podcast. So you can listen to Harm's Way, listen to Hard Lore, but of course, after you listen to us, since you're already doing that.
That's right. How about yourself, sir?
So the only one I've listened to was GOREHAMMER, and I was very happy about that one. I know we had talked about the single that they released a couple months ago.
I wasn't ready for it.
It makes more sense in the context of the album there, but I think by itself it was kind of underwhelming. But again, in the context, it fucking rips. That's stupid heavy, and very happy with that release. I am stoked for Code Orange. Again, Code's World is happening tomorrow here in Pittsburgh, which is pretty fucking cool. It's got who's it, like 200 Stab Wounds is playing, Veins playing. I think E-Town Concrete is gonna be on there.
Oh shit.
So that'll be cool if you're in the Pittsburgh area. Hopefully you can check it out because it'll have already happened by the time the Hopwolves are listening to this. Alvinola, I found that band through Reddit, and they are from, I believe it's Tokyo, but it's a really cool metalcore, dude. The few songs I listened to it, I was very happily surprised by it. Same thing with Kubrick Stare. Hadn't heard of them before, but I'm a fucking slut for Stanley, and anything that has any sort of relevance to Kubrick, I'm here for it. But the music's sick too. And then Harm's Way as well. Been getting, as everyone knows at this point, or you should, both Todd and I have been getting more into both hardcore and death metal really since starting the show. So if you would have asked me before this, I would have said fuck Harm's Way, dude. But now I am very excited for it.
Like we ripped deathcore apart and we're like, I like this and this.
I think honestly, a lot of it has to do with just like how much fucking drama's in the scene most of the time that I'm just like, it's too much. I love the music, but sometimes I'm like, dude, I'm exhausted. So yeah, we're getting more to the roots of why we like deathcore in general.
Call it dramacore now.
Yeah, basically. we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole. There's plenty of that going on elsewhere on the internet. We're here to talk about the certified brutal bangers at this current juncture. It's a fucking heater of a list, dude. Give it to me straight. CBB, do it.
Seems to be a common practice here at Brewtal to combine such heat that we create a swirling inferno, an all-consuming fire, if you will. We have the Poetic Edda from SYNESTIA and Disembodied Tyrant. And this is featuring Ben Doer, who seems to be a feature for many people.
As he should be.
Yeah. Next up, we have Sombre, which is from the band Old Wharf, and that's featuring Devin of Worm Shepherd. Great fucking get for that. It deserves to be at number 2. Let's just say that. Next up, we have Surgeon, all caps. This is featuring Jake from Reflections, which is fucking dope. This is like his new project, new band. I love everything they've put out so far.
That's awesome.
It's pretty much what album is that? Oh, why am I blanking?
Willow.
Yes, it's pretty much an extension of that album, if you will. A little bit
very
more
much so.
Techie. I don't know.
It's more experimental.
Yeah, that's the better word. They just came out with a new song, Trauma Dump, and I think this is like maybe their 3rd or 4th single. So listen to that and then just go listen to the rest because you're gonna have a good time. At number 4, we have Bog Wraith. That's the band with the song The Torso. Just the torso.
Just the torso.
Number 5, we have Knights of Malice with Purging the Slime. It's like a rap song title.
It really is, dude.
Yeah, but it's a great song. So go check them out. They have a pretty good track record with singles that we've featured in the past too.
That's MySpace deathcore right there.
Mm-hmm. After that, we have Sphinx, which great name get. I didn't even know a band had gotten Sphinx, but it lines up with the song title because it's called In the Sunken City of Aurelia, and that's R apostrophe Lyeh. So maybe it has something to do with pharaohs and all that jazz. So
this is gonna be Deathcore's answer to Nile, because Nile's been doing that shit for so long. They're like, I think we're gonna let someone else talk about Egyptian lore.
Hand over the baton to somebody else.
Sorry, Carl.
And number 7, we have Illusionary with their song Zombie. And this is not a cover. Just want to put that out there. It's not a cover of Zombie. At number 8, we have Desolate, which is featuring Rottenness, which is exciting. And the song is called Karoshi, which is dope. At number 9 is the band It Comes at Night with The Curse. And I love the single art for this. Has got a wolf.
Yeah.
It's perfect for this time of the year. After that, at number 10, we have the Browning with Poison. They're chugging along, dude. That band has just been, it keeps going and going. And I love that they have Hardcore Keem involved. So
yeah, you
got to support.
I still love his comment. Like when he joined, he's like, finally, after all these years, like you have someone brown in the Browning.
That's a great point. I love that. I love it. At number 11, though, we're going back to White. I'm talking about White Moth with their song Violence. This band, and this song in particular, heavy Bring Me the Horizon vibes, especially on the vocals.
Yeah.
I was just like, hold up. This is not Bring Me the Horizon. So not a knock. I actually really do like this band. They've been coming out with a lot of good singles. So whatever's coming from all of this, I can't wait. Next up at number 12, we have Blossom, and that's all lowercase with a period. That's important because when you look up on Spotify, you need to put that period there to find them. His song is called The Fakest Being, and I actually really like the track, so we included it. It fits perfectly in this little spot here, because next up we have Year of the Knife, dude. They dropped 2 singles out of fucking nowhere. And is Maddie on these? I don't.
I'm guessing these were recorded way before the accident. So yeah, this is still Maddie, but she is still very much in recovery right now.
Very true. She Will Get the Last Laugh. That's the name of the song, and it is featuring Dylan Walker of Full of Hell, which is an awesome get.
Yeah,
they were a part of Acacias, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah.
Doing something right.
At number 14, we have Infurious with Demon's Eyes. Great artwork for this single, and the song fucks. So
yeah, hard.
2 thumbs up for that. After that, at number 15, we have Mouth for War with Saturate Me. This band is awesome, so I'm glad that they are back in the swing of things. Do not overlook Mouth for War. Number 16, Sugar Spine, releasing another single. This is called With You Forever, and it's actually featuring Scott Kennedy of Bleed From Within. And it's cool little vocal back and forth with those two. At number 17, though, we have Dying Wish with Path to Your Grave. I am very much looking forward to this album. They're like the hardcore Kill Switch, if you will. I love that they're moving more to that like metalcore. Yeah. So I can't wait. Just keep them coming. Keep all the singles, and then when that album drops, we're here for it. At number 18, we have Bayway, New Jersey. So NJ, and this is featuring E-Town Concrete, and it's called Stretching the Truth. So if you're a hardcore fan out there, this is, I think, right up your alley for sure. Right up your Bayway, if you will.
Nice.
At number 19, we have Horsewhip with the song Pain. Every time I say Horsewhip, I think of Stewie with Cool Whip.
Yeah.
I want to say Horsewhip. Very cool band. I don't know how to describe them. I almost moved them up, but like I needed like a good place to get to this last song, which is Autopsy with Throat Saw. This is very much the death metal song of the list. I didn't know where to put it because you had such a good flow. You kind of started the list off, and I didn't want to disrupt that. So I was like, you know what? This is going to be the cherry on top at the end. And what a fucking great song title. Throat Saw? Fuck yeah. Let's go. This always begs the question, what were your favorites? I'm going to list mine real quick. Synestia, Surgeon, Illusionary, Desolate, Infurious, and Sugar Spine. I think you have some of the same. on your list as well.
Yeah, dude. The Poetic Edda is
Yeah.
is fucking phenomenal.
Poetic Justice is what
It
it
is
is.
Poetic Justice. The hardcore deathcore version of Poetic Justice. It's beautiful. I really like what both these bands do individually, and then combining them just makes sense. And then having Ben just is like, well, why the fuck not? So
Right?
yeah, all in all, yes. I do the old Wharf song with Devin from Worm Shepherd hit me in the fucking face. I felt like I was at the old wharf, but then I was like at the bottom of the bay after that.
Nice. In the worms.
In the worms. Shepherd, my shepherd. Year of the Knife, Infurious, and Dying Wish. Year of the Knife with the inclusion of these two singles, which they're like, one's like not even a minute and the other's like just over a minute, which is great because the other one features Devin from Sangui Sugabog, not Worm Shepherd. But they both fuck super hard. I'm really excited for that album to come out, which it'll be out in just a couple weeks actually. So that'll be sick. Infurious, hadn't heard of them before, but I really like Demonize. That one fucked as well. And then yeah, Dying Wish has been one I've been very excited for all year, really, since they started dropping the singles. And some really cool videos too, if you get a chance to watch any of those singles. And fun fact, all the videos were directed from, I'm going to blank on his name, was Anthony, the bassist from Straight From the Path, did all those.
Oh, no shit. Hell yeah.
He does videography when he's not slapping the bass for Stray, which is pretty fucking cool. I love those crossovers there. I am excited to, before we get into what we're really, really excited about for this episode, that you include Throat Saw from Autopsy, because we have criteria for how things flow in the playlist and the just the episodes in general. But one of them is if it sounds too old school, we don't put it on, because Autopsy is an OG death metal band.
Oh yeah.
But they sound like they're still stuck in like 89, which is great because it fucks super hard. And yeah, so I'm really excited. I saw that on there. I'm like, I don't think Todd's gonna want this on there. So I'm happy that you put it on there.
Again, yeah, I had trouble, but I was like, it's an honor of respect to be the last song sometimes instead of the first. So
It is
not a slight at all to them. It is more of an homage. It's building up to that point. You get to the throat saw and then it cuts your head off.
Arterial spray all over the fucking place, dude, which leads really well into what we're going to be talking about, which is our favorites from the last 3 months. Just spraying every type of fluid everywhere, dude. Beer, blood, semen, it's all there. It's all there in one condensed episode. Let's get into it. We're going to start off with the beers. But since we had a little bit of a hiatus, we took a month off. So we only had about 5 episodes.
Yep.
If you noticed, you did. We know you did. We're going with our favorite beer, singular, of the last quarter here. So take it away, Todd. What was doing it for you in Q3?
That's right, man. Starting off with a beer, this might be controversial because this is a beer that is part of a lost tape now, if you will. I had to do it. I'm sorry. It was my favorite and it'll never see the light of day and it needs to be talked about. I'm talking about Mandy Strawberry Shandy from Martin House Brewing Company. Listen, we recorded an episode. This guy decided to scrap it and a beer got lost in the wreckage, and I would like to lift it back up from the ashes so people know about it. And of course, it's like my favorite brewery as of right now, Martin House Brewing Company out of Fort Worth, Texas. I love strawberries, one of my top fruits, and this shandy was just hitting it, man. And like I had talked about in this lost tape, it was like not too sweet, and like it was right in that pocket area. The can art was super cool. It had this woman in almost like a speed racer outfit with like a red visor, like sky blue suit, skin tight, looking sexy on the can, and like it just did it for me. She was picking strawberries from a field. I don't know the reference. It just looks futuristic. Like think like kind of like 80s cyberpunk, like synth wave kind of deal. And yeah, it was doing it for me, man. But you'll never see it, even though we have a picture. So it does exist.
You could still post it. People
Still
people
gonna
will
send
know.
it.
You could just, yeah, might as well, dude. That's really fucking funny because now it sounds like we have some cursed tape that needs to be found, which I mean, maybe I deleted it, so
It
good
might
fucking luck.
be at a video store near you if that still exists. Actually, we just put it in like the DVD section in a Walmart bin.
Yeah, there you go. Where most things go to die now. I don't
That's
even think they
right.
have those anymore. Sad. I
Probably
loved
not.
rummaging through that shit, like just putting shit on the floor, trying to find that one at the bottom. Ugh, good times. That's so funny, dude. The lost episode, I had the same beer that I'm drinking now, so it did see the light of day. So fortunate there on one account, but that's not what I'm going with.
Oh,
Southern Tier Warlock, the
yeah.
Imperial Pumpkin Stout. I think it's a cop out because like I just that's one of my favorite seasonal beers anyway, but it's my favorite for a reason. Like the notes and the balance between the pumpkin and the chocolate are there. You have a good pocket for the ABV, 8.6. The artwork with the Warlock himself is
Come
very
on now.
cool. Nice purple, real mystical like. Can have like I can have a couple of those, and that's one thing that Southern Tier does. Like it's nicely balanced, but they always push like the sweeter flavors like to the fucking brim, dude. And
All you, man.
yeah, I love that shit. So that was an easy decision for me because also I was thinking that most of yours were Martin House, but most of mine were Southern Tier. So
Are we
there's a
stands? Maybe.
maybe I don't know who fucking cares. We're picking them for a reason. We like what we like, and with that being said, let's move on to the EPs. These ones are more fun because like it
Yeah.
kind of sucks that we only get to pick one, but that's okay. We'll have more fun with the album. This quarter in particular, I don't know. I had a really hard time with it. Todd had an easier time with it, so it always makes me curious.
Yes, and it's weird. Like both can be true, and it was kind of hard in a way, but it was easy because I knew which one I really have been listening to.
Sure.
And so for top five EPs, I'm gonna start off. So I'm gonna go backwards. Five, four, three, two, one. At number five, Sadistic Spliff, man. Hymns of the High.
Nice. Nice.
I gotta give a shout out to Mitchell in 830 audio, 830 audio. He's really turned me on to a lot of his bands, and this one I love the pageantry, the audio clips, just how brutal it was, the cover art. Just great job, guys. Like y'all did a fucking amazing job with the CP.
Hell yeah.
Number four from Texas, I'm talking about Ricin with Dismal, dude. I
Nice.
am really growing on this band. We hope to feature them one day, so I'm gonna keep plugging that in until you send that stuff, please. Cover art for that is fucking awesome too. Like, definitely make that on the t-shirt. That'll sell for sure. I kind of want to know who the artist is too. But I don't know how else to describe them. They're pretty much like brutal deathcore, if you will. It's a nice little packaged EP. At number three, though, I'm going with Enoch's Paradise.
Ooh, nice.
They're heavy as fuck, but like kind of catchy in a way. And I've been
Yeah.
really digging that EP. It's a slice of paradise.
Nice.
And number two, I'm going with Mood Ring. Your light fades
Ooh.
away. I really think they have gotten better. Like their trajectory is going upward. And I don't know how that man creates so much music, but like he's
Yeah.
hitting softer tones with this one and still killing it. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And number one, though, shout out to the boys in Ontario, Salem Trials, man, Nocturnal
Nice.
Creation. I loved hanging out with those guys. I love their explanations behind the songs and like the influences. Like, if I remember correctly, their bassist really likes the groove, like old metal too. So it makes sense. The drummer, forgive me, guys, like we had a lot of beer that night. but he likes new metal, I think, and you can kind of hear it in there. Just a lot of energy behind the songs. Their new vocalist, Terry, bro, you're killing it, dude. You're so young too, man. You're one of the top vocalists of this year, I would say. I think he's doing awesome stuff. Yeah, just overall, man. Like I think they killed it with this EP. I'm glad that they decided to do another feature with us, which was really just a hangout sesh. So hell yeah. I hope you guys listen to this. Much love to the boys up north. Thank you. And keep on trucking, man. I hope you guys continue on this path you are with your music, because I think you're etching out a good section within that type of deathcore, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, and like they said too, like there's a lot of groove, and there's a lot, like you can hear all the influences in there. Not that you can't with other bands, but like that band in particular, like it just got something that's really like a cut above the rest there. That's great. I honestly, like, all those threw me for a loop, dude, except Salem Trials. I guess like placement wise that threw me for a loop. Not that it doesn't deserve that top spot, because it totally does. But, you know, we again, we've mentioned this on other episodes. Like, we know what we talk about here, but we don't really know what we listen to like most of the time, like by ourselves.
We're mostly just talking about the new stuff and never really like, oh, I've been listening to this for so long.
There is one that I was surprised that you didn't have, which I'll get into in a minute because it is on mine. Great list, though. I got to listen to Ryson more. What I heard, and from what you've said, quality stuff. The Enox one is super sick, too. And, of course, Mitchell and Tyrantula with Sadistic Split. Fuck yeah. Great list, dude. Love it. So starting off, and to preface, I don't think we said this time around, but it needs to be mentioned. These are the ones that like we listen to the most.
Exactly.
So like there are, like, when we get to the Brewtal stuff, like, yes, it's always heavy, but like, what can we realistically say that we listen to and continue to come back to? So that's kind of how we decide these lists. So with that being said,
recommendations throughout the year, if you will.
My EPs, I'm going to start with Salem Trials with Nocturnal Creation. Yeah, dude, that EP fucking rips. It's hella groovy. Everything that Todd said, I loved it and continue to come back to it. And it always helps hearing the nuances and the behind the scenes stuff, BTS, if you will, from the boys. And even though I didn't get a chance to hang out with them, I did miss that very much, but I felt like I was there through Todd. So great job with that one, guys. Like Todd said, keep it up. I'm just really echoing what you already had mentioned. At number 4, I'm going with Gavel US and their self-titled EP.
Great
Stupid choice. Fucking heavy. The first time that we heard of this band, I'm blanking on the name of it, but it had like a really creepy, like what felt like a, oh my God, why can't I think of this today? Like a nightmarish creature on like a sleep paralysis, like a demon type of deal. And like I was hooked on the album artwork, like from that. And this self-titled EP does not disappoint. It is just like the mix, everything sounds great. It's so pummeling. It's that right amount of heaviness that I just want to keep coming back to again and again. So that's number 4. Number 3, this is the one that I was surprised wasn't on your list at all. Better Lovers with God Made Me an Animal.
I love that EP. Don't get me wrong. I actually haven't listened to it much. I do this weird thing, and I hate that I do this. Like, it's the new Cannibal Corpse album.
Yeah.
It's fucking fantastic. I just haven't listened to it because I know it's good.
Yeah, that's fair. And that's why we have the parameters of like, what are we going back to and listening to?
Yes.
This one, granted, was more heavy when it came, like heavy on rotation when it came out in the first place. But there's no denying, like, I'll still go back to it and we'll continue to go back to it. Sucker, Slut for supergroups. Of course, you've got Greg from Dillinger. You've got Will Putney from basically everything that fucking is amazing. And then Eated, Every Time I Die. So like, what's not to love? And that is just nice, like full of energy, everything you would want from all of those projects in one project. So that's number 3. Number 2, Todd talked about Mood Ring. I'm not picking Mood Ring, even though I really did like that EP and have grown very fond of that band. in particular, like you had mentioned, Hunter Young, who is behind that band. This one in particular, Josh from Monastery, so shout out Josh Davies, turned both of us onto it. I'm talking about Graveview with Ruthless, Obliteration of Sanity, pummeling death metal from Florida, dude. I fell in love with it instantly. And I think it's got like, it's just more like slam elements. It's kind of like how in the vein of like Sanguis Sugabog and like a lot of like newer death metal is you have the homage to the original sound, but you're implementing like at least I feel like fresher elements into it. I don't know. Whatever they're doing, it's so fucking heavy and it's so fucking good. I'll listen to it like on repeat. It's just that great. And it's got one of my favorite album arts of the year. I'm not sure who the artist is, but I love it. It looks super creepy. It kind of gives me like a Nosferatu vibe, but like not really. I don't know. That's the best way in my mind that makes sense.
I can see what you're saying with that. Yeah.
It's just got like that old school feel to it, but it sounds great. And Hunter Young, great producer, great musician, I'm still blown away that he sings for Mood Ring. And then most of the stuff he does is just dumb, stupid, heavy. Mm-hmm. Love it. So that was number 2. Number 1, I love this band. I'm talking about Orphan with Manifesto 1.0, Stages of Grief. Yeah. I'm an emotional dude. What can I say? And like, they really capture a lot of like this raw, just like chaotic emotion in the music. And I know like Orphan's got a lot of like flack to them from like personal matters, because I actually didn't realize that both singers are brothers until not that long ago.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know
I heard some weird stories, a lot of like stuff with Strangled. So I don't love that. I love the music and I love this EP. I think it's phenomenal and it's stupid heavy. Again, it's just really capturing like these raw, very visceral emotions that I'm always here for. They had my favorite Brewtal album from last year. I can't wait for 2.0, whatever comes next after this, but like, it's great. Love it. Had to go with Orphan for my number 1 EP, which segueing into the next, dude. So that's the top 5. Well, before we segue into it, is there anything like anyone that stood out or you're surprised about?
I mean, no, not really, man. Just like Better Lovers, like Orphan was the same way. Like I knew it was good. And I listened to it many times, but it's just like those 5 I picked. I listened to them so much. Like it'll probably be on my top Spotify list at the end of the year.
Hell yeah. That and the green noise, I'm sure. Yeah. That's neither here nor there. We're going to move into the Brewtal EPs. Start us off there, sir. What do you got going at number 5?
At number 5, I am going with Acranius Amoral, man.
Ooh, good call.
That was kind of like an EP that dropped, which I had forgot that was dropping. But when it did, I was like, oh, yeah, I want to hear that. And fuck yeah. I love that band. And number 4, Face Yourself with Death Reflection. Nice. I had to, man. That band's going places. That's like Heat Seekers, if you will. Like, I can't wait to see and hear an LP from them. So,
fuck yeah.
Number 3, Slime NW, Sidewalk Misery. Something's going on up in the Northwest, and I'm here for it. They are part of a label that I really like, and the Misery Whip band that I listed as one of my top EPs from the last quarter, they're on that same record label.
Okay.
I wish I could remember, but they do like to do announcements of the bands that are on the roster are these like creepy fucking videos. If I remember it, Arie, I will send it to you later. Okay. But I love the pack that they run with. And number 2 is 10 to the Chest, dude. Split the fuck open.
Nice. Nice.
When I heard one of the singles, I think we listed it on one of our playlists, and then they came out with that EP, and the fucking name got me, dude. Split the fuck open. I was like, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And so this pick kind of like leads me to my number 1, which is Peeling Flesh, Slamholics Volume 2. they're somewhat similar, if you will. And like, I love this mashup of like super brutal slamming death with core elements, of course. And then like, it's almost sprinkled in hip hop, if you will, just to be
it's
like,
it's not even sprinkled in, it's in there.
Yeah, it's ingrained. Yeah, that's true. And like, it's just this awesome package that like, I love that evolution of music has come to this point. I just love it.
I mean, I think that's a good thing that we would see that for us growing up, like with new metal, having that influence from hip hop embedded into it. But like, it's been in hardcore, like that's kind of been a staple in there, and like slam and things of that nature. We just haven't like really been into it up until recently, or the last couple years. So it's really cool to see that fusion there on a heavier level. I feel that, dude. And like, even like the pageantry, like I saw a Peeling Flesh shirt the other day that was like the Wu-Tang symbol. And like, that's fucking awesome. And I'm pretty sure that one of Strangled's guitarists or the drummer is in Peeling Flesh.
Oh, nice.
I think it's the drummer, but don't quote me on that.
All I wish is I had an air horn for that announcement. That's all I.
You know that anytime there's the call out and there's an air horn, it's good stuff. That's all I want. Like when I'm listening to slam, those two things, if they ain't in there, I don't know. Is it slam? I don't know. That's a great list there, friends. I'm really glad you put 10 to the chest. That one was in contention for myself.
Yeah, they need the recognition for sure. Like, shout out to those boys. Like, go listen to that fucking band.
Excellent stuff, homie. I am going to say that two of these I had already mentioned. You'll see where they lay at, but could not have them. Anyway, we're starting it off. Talk about Ontario. I don't know if they're from Ontario, but I know they're homies with Salem Trials, and you guys had mentioned them in the show. I'm talking about Bastards with New Lows. That EP it fucks, dude. We're talking about new metal, like that's a really nice, like there's a lot of new metal influence in there, but it just goes like dumb heavy there. And it's got the Sad Crying Clown on it, which we won't get into it, but we both are big fans of that.
It also, it makes me think of that Stained album.
Oh, the first one.
Yes, with Mud Shovel on it.
With Mud Shovel on it. That's a great comparison there.
Not the music, just the single art. Or the EP art, I should say.
Wait, the only thing that's sort of similar is like new metal, but that's about where the differences or the similarities end, I should say. But yeah, that's one that I started really listening to them because of Salem Trials. And I know that they were going on tour with them and stuff, which was great. But yeah, I just kept coming back to it. It's so groovy, but super heavy, and everything that I love about new metal and this new core renaissance that we're in. It just was hitting all the right notes for me. So that, and of note, Bastards is spelled ER, so BASTERDS. Great shit. Waffle House Fight Crew, Peeling Flesh, Slamaholics Volume 2. They were going to be on here like regardless. I feel like anytime Peeling Flesh has something come out, they're going to be on the list for me somewhere. Yeah. I'm glad they were so high for you, because it was really hard for me to put them like this low. But that's not a slight, because it's, as Todd said, like just echoing what he said, the fusion of hip hop and slam is great. And they do such a good job. A lot of fun, but also like you're going to get hurt at a show and you're going to love it. So what more could you really ask for? So that's number 4. Number 3, I have Squelching Okay.
Oh, yes.
Always still cracks me up. But their EP is just called Squelching. But that has some really, like, it's got that death metal production to it while being like just some of the heaviest deathcore you could possibly imagine. It's really the snare tone that just does it for me. That the pingy, like the ting of the snare just fucking does it, dude. And it's so heavy. I love the artwork to it. Just a really good time, really heavy stuff. Constantly going back to that one. Number 2, Gavel US with their
Nice.
self-titled. And number 1 is Great View with Ruthless Obliteration of Sanity. So
I apparently need to listen to that one. I actually haven't yet. Per the recommendation of Josh, I need to get to it. But you are hyping it up for me, man.
you're going to love it. It's so good. Like I said, it's got that nice mixture of the old school flair with that new school injection of like deathcore slam beat down into it. There's a lot of like, I call them like big boy riffs, but I think I try to remember what Devin from Sangui Sugarbox said. Bad boy riffs is what they call, but it's like this, it's like a 2-step. It's like dun 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 dun. And dude, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Like when you listen, it happens a few times on this EP, but it just gets you like Neanderthal state. Like you just lose all control and you want to just fuck anything up in your path.
Grow out that eyebrow ridge.
Exactly. Go. It's just like as soon as that hits, boom, you're in a fucking loincloth and you somehow just, you got the club. You just discovered fire because you're listening to the fucking heat. Yeah, dude, Florida death metal. Awesome. Love it. Please check out Great View. Ruthless Obliteration of Sanity. Love that shit. That's easy. That's making top 5. I'll say that for the whole year. It's great.
The heat is on our hands right now.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving, man, because now we are going to albums. And so this is the top 5 albums. This is really hard to do. This is sleepless nights sometimes. But honestly, for me, this was actually the easiest one of the 5.
Okay.
So I'm starting off number 5 with Earn, dude. I fucking love that album, A Feast on Sorrow. It's different for me, but like
it is
fucking riffs, dude. The vocals are a little bit to get into just because I think that was the most like jarring thing to me. But once I got over that hurdle and like accepted them and then started to really like them, I was in totally.
Nice
comparisons to like Mastodon and stuff like that. But if you're a guitarist and you want some good fucking metal riffs, Earn, dude. Fucking listen to that. That is an album of the year contender, so that's why it's on this list. At number 4, though, Disfiguring the Goddess, dude.
Oh, nice.
The Brutal Machine, man. This is something experimental for sure from Big Chocolate. I don't know how to describe it, dude. It's like that ambiance music you listen to like just to fall asleep, and then you put like fucking brutal shit over top of it. I was all in, man. I don't know why, but like I fucking love the combination. I think he's onto something, so I hope he continues this project and like keeps going further down that rabbit hole because I fucking love it.
Hell yeah.
So that's number 4 for me, man. If you have an open mind, go listen to it. I think you'll like it. And number 3, this is sort of like it bleeds well into this one. Tomb Mold, dude. The Enduring Spirits. Take death metal, add a lot of progressive elements. Very jammy, jam band kind of feel to it because they kind of just let things breathe and kind of like bloom out of that. And I call it Brewtiful because it's
nice.
It transported me, dude. Like I fucking love when music does that. And like you can just put it on the background and kind of just chill out. And again, it's just brutal on top of it. So hell yeah. That's number
Amazing.
3. Number 2, Flesher, man.
Hell yeah.
Tales of Grotesque Demise, dude. I am enamored with that album. I love everything about it. So tell your friends. It is album of the year contender as well. Up there. I can't get enough of it. That has been on constant repeat. I love the artwork. I love that closing track, dude, is like what sealed the deal for me. And I hope they expand more on the lore of the Flesher.
Fuck yeah.
For newcomers into death metal, dude, it sounds like they've been doing it for a while. And I think it's probably a nod to the bands that they've come from, which includes Demiricus, which that fucking album, goddamn, that was a good one. So RIP Demiricus, but you gave us Flesher out of the depth of that old band.
There's another band that's basically Demiricus that is not Flesher that he has as well.
Okay.
So I think that one's
might-
called Ritual.
Okay. I will check them out because I like what he's doing so far.
Yeah.
And number one, though, I'm going with Gorehammer, dude.
Really?
Paperboy, dude.
Wow.
I can't
Okay.
stress this enough. Every day since it has released, I bought it too. I have been listening to this album on repeat every day for countless hours while I'm at work. When I come home, I go make lunch. I throw it on. I fucking love it, dude. And it says something because at first that single that they dropped, I was just like, eh. And the way you said it, it fits way better as a package with the album as a whole. But to start off with fucking Space Jam, Twisted, everybody get up, it's time to slam now. Like, oh, it fucking sold me, dude. It fucking sold me. And that intro track into everything else. I'm a lyrics guy. I don't know any of the lyrics on this album, and I fucking love it.
Dude, that's amazing. And that's really telling because that just came out.
It did. I know. Yeah, we're not even a full week through, but I kid you not. I have been listening to it every waking moment. It's my go-to now. So it says something. And yeah. So Gorehammer, you guys, bless everyone involved with that. I mean, it's in good hands, that project, because of who's involved with it. So
absolutely.
I hope they keep making more because I'm all in. All the chips are in.
I was just waiting for you to start crying blood like in Casino Royale, dude. That's sick. I was not expecting that at all. That album is great. I actually forget that it is a full album because of how short it is. It seems like an EP to me.
I was kind of like half and half on that, but like I did look it up. They don't ever listen to EP, so I felt confident in listening it as an album. But it is short, but I mean that just makes me repeat it a lot more.
It's good shit, dude, and great. That's a great choice. I too had it on repeat, not as much as you, but it is worth checking out for sure.
I think it hit at the right moment with my car getting trashed by hail because I was like, I need something to just take my mind off of the situation, and it was there for me in my low.
See, there you go. You don't know what they're saying, but it's there for you emotionally. What more could you fucking ask for? Not much.
No.
Amazing picks, dude. I kind of figured Tomb Mold would be in there. Flesher, fuck yeah. Love it. A lot of heavy stuff in there too, which not saying that there normally isn't, but that always throws me for a loop because sometimes it's more on the melodic side. I'm thinking of bands like Hollow Front coming like at the top of the list last year and stuff like that. So anyway, that threw me for a loop, a good loop. I'm going to start off my albums with my boy Dustin, with Flesher, Tales of Grotesque Demise. I love it, dude. Dustin's been in the game for a long time, and he knows what he's doing. Everything about this album, just the tone of it, dude. It's got that nice, again, like it's got that old school flair, but it sounds like it should be right now, which it is. The character of Flesher, the song Flesher, Flesher the knife, it's all great. And the guy that did most of Megadeth's album art did this one. I'm blanking on his name, so forgive me. But if you're going to pick it up for even that reason alone, fucking awesome, dude.
Let's go.
Yes, and that one just came out not too long ago. They kill it live. I got a chance to see them a few weeks ago. Amazing.
Jealous. So jealous, like I said. Yep.
Number 4, I am going a little bit more melodic with a lot of these. I'm going with Polaris and Fatalism.
Yeah.
That album hits on many different levels. R.I.P. to Ryan CU. This is an amazing album to leave your legacy with. It's pissed, dude. It's so pissed. I think this is Polaris at the top of their game. And I know we had mentioned it before, but like there's so many, there's like probably 4 tracks that I thought were the closing track.
That's right.
Because of how epic it was. And it's just like metalcore done right. There's so many metalcore bands that are not doing it right. And it's just like generic as all hell. Polaris is not one of them. They were at the forefront of the game in my eyes, and this is one that I keep going back to because it's just so good. And again, it just hits a little bit differently because of what had happened with Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Number 3 is Chamber with A Love to Kill For.
Great pick, dude.
Just chaos encapsulated in the best way possible. I don't know what they're considered. I like in my brain, it's like a metallic hardcore type of deal. Like,
yeah, kind of metallic leaning hardcore. I often think sometimes of like Misery Signals, the way they go about their music sometimes.
Yeah, it just there's a lot of stuff going on there, like a lot of weird time signatures, a lot of heaviness to it, but it all works and it all makes sense. This is Chamber, I think, at the top of their game. Not to say that this is like the peak, because they are just going to keep going up. The trajectory is there. But this one, I think they really encapsulated what they can do. And this is, I mean, Chamber's already becoming a household name, but this is going to take them to the next level for sure. Number 2, shout out to Josh at Monasteries. Ominous is my pick there, which is kind of bittersweet because they just announced that they're ending. So the swan song that we didn't know we were getting of Ominous, had a really great time talking to Josh, and the lore behind the album art, the videos themselves, that to me elevates it even more, even though I already loved the album to begin with. So that one has been on constant repeat for me. It's stupid heavy. Again, like just the lore behind it. It's Josh at his most vulnerable with a few songs, and it's a good time. Please, if you haven't listened to our episode where we talk with him, we get way more in depth about the album there. That was episode 88. We'll link it for you, the Hopwolves, if you don't already have that. Which leads me to number 1. This one was a no-brainer. I knew instantly that this was number 1 with how much I fucking listened to it. I'm talking about Johnny Booth with Moments Elsewhere. I love Johnny Booth, dude. I'm going to say it. I'm screaming at the top of the mountain. I saw them with, shout out Dan Polar Bear, Todd's brother, a couple weeks ago. It was fucking awesome. The energy that they had, the crowd was super responsive, which was great, because there's been a few shows I've been to where it's been like real lackluster, and especially for the headliner. So Johnny Booth was headlining and everyone was there to see the booth. So this to me is the perfect balance. It's like mathcore. There's so many melodic elements to it that are just like real dancey, real groovy.
Yes.
It's just like a vibe.
There's a disco ball for some reason.
There is a disco ball. I think, the album art really encapsulates like what the album is. I mean, that's what it's there to do, right? But it's like 2 guys in hazmats. One is carrying the other guy on a stretcher. They're in a room with a disco ball, and then there's a little girl watching this happen. So I don't know. I kind of feel like the little girl in a way, like just kind of watching, like I'm just kind of vibing with what's going on, because they go so heavy. And then there's parts where I just kind of get lost in whatever the fuck's going on up here. I've become a huge Johnny Booth fan over the last like year or so. This is everything I wanted. I didn't know I wanted this album until it dropped. Like I was excited because of some of the singles, like Collapse in the Key of Fireworks is such a banger, and that really sets the tone. Oh yeah, dude. Great live band, great album. Could not have that album up there for me. So that's my top 5 albums for Q3 right there, buddy.
Dude, I'm so glad you listened to those bands, especially because I didn't. Like, they need to be talked about. So I'm glad we're talking about them. Great picks, dude. I need to give that Johnny Booth album more love. I have given it some love, but not the intimate love I need to give to it.
Make sweet love to that.
That's right.
That album, dude.
But let's move on, dude, to our Brewtal top 5 albums of Q3. Again, we're doing this every quarter to just get more recognition to the bands that need it. Because at the end of the year, we are picking the cream of the crop. And that is the toughest time to do, because every quarter you're hearing our favorites, and then to dice those down.
It's going to be a tough one this year.
Yeah. But speaking of top 5 most brutal albums, I'm going to start my list here. Number 5 is Monasteries with Ominous.
Nice.
Yeah, you can say, because they have Heaven Failed Us on it, it shouldn't be on this list, but I say it's emotionally heavy and emotionally brutal. Just like Spirit Box with Constance. It's on that level.
Dude, let's not get it twisted. That song is still heavy.
Yes, absolutely. But dude, one of my favorite songs of the year is on this album. I got 2 versions of it. And it's that stompy, it kind of makes me think of like a Parent Terror kind of group to it. I loved his breakdown of every song, and it made me appreciate it more. It brought more weight to the heaviness of the music. So it deserves to be on this list at number 5. Love you guys. Who knows what's next, but we're here for it. We're along the ride with you, Josh. So whatever you do next, let's talk about it on the show.
Yes.
And number 4, Signs of the Swarm, man. Amongst the Low and Empty.
Hell yeah.
I think this is them at their peak so far. I think they raised the bar. I think I read somewhere they wanted no orchestral parts on this album, and it's to great effect. Like,
yeah,
they kind of went with like a glitchy, kind of futuristic like undertone to like the heaviness, and so it was something different, almost you could say new metal elements thrown in, but that from the first song you're hooked, and then I don't know, all the way to the last melody, dude. Like,
yeah,
I'm so again jealous that you got to see them live. Like I need to see them live now with this album. I bought this like right before a trip, and it was just on repeat for me.
Yeah.
Number 3, I'm going with Crown Magnetar, Everything Bleeds, the Bean Boys.
Everything Beans,
dude. It's so technical and so polished. And I love that about it, because I just think the production on this is so fucking fantastic. And Dan is pissed off.
Yeah. The most pissed.
And dude, I have a feeling the album title is a little bit of a nod to the movie 300, because the king of the Persian army, like he gets like cut, and it's like, oh, gods bleed too. So I think they're going with that, and it kind of looks like that a little bit. Every song, dude, it's just like you don't want to skip any song on that album. That says it alone to me.
It does.
And number 2, I'm going with Flesher, Tales of Grotesque Demise. It's there for a reason. It's same level for each, and like I said, album of the year contender for me. It's making me love death metal even more, even though I've fully converted. And now, I don't know, they're a newcomer, which is the craziest thing to me. And it just sounds like they've been doing it for years. And I think it shows.
Yeah.
And number 1, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I'm going with GOREHAMMER. It's dumb heavy, and
it is.
Yeah, right now it's holding a tight spot at my number 1 right now. I don't know what it is, man. I fell in love with it. The more I listen to it, the more I like it.
I mean, rightfully so, dude. You have, like you said before, there's a lot of, like, it's in good hands. There's a lot of talented people working on that. And really, like, Johnny Chardulo is another one that, like, anything he touches, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Mm-hmm. We're talking Carcosa. We're talking Angel Maker. Now we're talking GOREHAMMER. Funny as fuck on the internet, dude. Like, it's great. And not to mention that you have, I wish I could remember which guitarist is in there from Angel Maker.
No.
But then you have Big Chocolate in there, and that's a vet. You labeled, or you mentioned Disfiguring the Goddess and doing this. Like, he's not prone to shy away from like experimental, like different genres. Yes. Mm-hmm. And this just going back to like the roots is great. It is. It's dumb stupid. And like the album art is really cool too. It's like the Technicolor and shit like that. And it's great. I love
like
it.
80s synth wave, if you will. It's just like very 90s or 80s, 90s, just like
cusp
pinks and all that. It's a nice comparison to just how just stupid heavy. It's dumb heavy. It's Debbie, if you will.
There you go. Nice. Excellent list, homie. I have a couple of the same ones on mine as well, which no surprise, that tends to happen. I'm going with Snuffed on Sight first with Smoke. I would love to smoke to this album. I haven't yet, but I would. And it's just good, dude. Again, like kind of harking back to Peeling Flesh, it's that hip hop influence with the artwork and the sound, and it just does it for me. And again, slam is not something, as much as I love it, like I can constantly listen to, but this is an album that I want to revisit and have revisited a lot. So whatever they're doing, I love it. And yeah, you're gonna catch some fist at that show as well.
It's that smoke you want.
I absolutely. Plume of Smoke, give it to me. Give it to me. Oh, they're on tour with 200 Stab Wounds right now, which is a fucking great combination.
Oh, that's good. It's good
again, we're breaking it down to the roots of deathcore. We've got hardcore and death metal, and some things in between there. But with that being said, number 4 for me is Flesher with Tales of Grotesque Demise. It really can't say anything else that hasn't been said by Todd and myself already.
Yeah.
Again, Dustin's been doing this for a long time. He's a really talented musician. This is a new band, and I mean that's really saying something for how long he's been in the game. And again, I can't really speak for the other members of the band, but they're really fucking good at what they do. So, good times with Tales of Grotesque Demise. Number 3, this is the only one that's really different, I will say. Spoiler. Humanity's Last Breath with Ashen. Again, Buster Odom is one of those people that whatever he touches is just fucking gold, dude. This, Filled Heart, Throne. He produces as well. Like,
great track record.
Great track record. And it really is a staple that all of these projects that he does personally sound very different. And I love that. Humanity's Last Breath does not skimp on the fucking heavy, dude. It's there. They toured with Signs of the Swarm not too long ago, and that's a great matchup right there. You've got like Thal mixed with like the deathcore. This is definitely more of like a blackened deathcore feel to it than like Vilharta is, but you still get the sprinklings in there of the Thal, which makes sense again. It's one of the same dudes. But yeah, that one's awesome. Love the album artwork to that one as well. Speaking of Signs, they're number 2 for me. This one, number 1, went back and forth a lot. I think I listened to this one more. I just liked number 1 a little bit better. Mm-hmm. And again, that's not taking away from it. Signs of the Swarm, Amongst the Low and Empty. Like Todd said, the title track really sets the tone for the rest of the album. It does not let up on the heavy. I know some people were kind of like a little indifferent compared to Absolve Re, but I personally like this one a little bit better than that one. And that's really saying something, especially with like how many lineup changes they've had over the years. And it's really awesome. I mean, like I think Bobby, the drummer, is like the only original member, and he might not even be like one of the founding members, but he's been with the band for the longest. But him and David have, it seems like, really shaped how Signs has come to be. And they're fucking phenomenal live. One of the best live bands I've seen, well, ever, but in a long time. And it was really cool to see them at their album release show. The hometown show for Amongst the Low and Empty was fucking killer. Which leads me to number 1, Crown Magnetar. Everything Bleeds, Everything Beans. Yeah, wear that crown of beans, my dudes. We really already kind of said everything that needed to be, but this is one. The songs just like kind of live in my head. Dan's pissed, like really pissed.
He's big mad.
He's big mad, dude. And I read like a couple of things about like this album like being really, really personal to him, lyrically, and I think that shows. But like sonically, it matches it. and they're at the top of their game. Like Todd said, super technical, tech death at its finest. It's bringing the heavy, great features on there. Like I know Darius Tarani from Spite's on there. That song fucking rips. And it's just banger after banger after banger. It does not let up. And you're pretty much bled out by the time you listen to it. And then like exsanguination. I don't know. I know that means to bleed something dry. Like that's how I feel.
Yeah.
When I listen to this album. And sit there with a Crown of Thorns, Crown Magnetart. That's your number one. Brewtal for your boy here.
Oh yeah, dude.
So dude.
That's a great list. And usually when we get to the Brewtal stuff, we have similar tastes as far as what's going to make our top 5. But I love you included some other ones too. I wasn't expecting that entire list, so I love when we have different choices because it just gets more band names out there, and they're deserving. But now we're going to talk about our most brutal song. So this is really narrowing it down. You might not think what I'm going to go with, but I am actually, for this quarter, going with Devitalize in Godslayer. That feature with Tom Barber, I have to give a shout out to these guys, has like one of his longest screams on there. And his vocals combined with the main vocalist just is a match made in hell, like we like to say here on Brewtal. The song just does not let up. Like it's a God slayer. It literally slays gods. And I don't know, they deserve the recognition right now for how fucking heavy the song is. And I think they're on a little bit of a hiatus right now. And I hope they come back with fists swinging because they tapped into something on this song and you need to listen to it right now.
Yeah, that's a great pick. That is definitely the best song that they have released, like production wise, musically, heavy, and not to take away from their other offerings because they fucking rip. And like we featured them a couple episodes ago, a couple of those earlier in the year, but like one of the videos that really encapsulates what Devitalize is about is just like people storming the stage.
Yes.
And it was really cool because like there's such a unique blend of genres. Like I really can't pin what Devitalize sounds like other than just like they're really catchy, they can be really heavy, like they're really in your face. I'd say like probably like metalcore on like a heavier side, but Godslayer sounds like a deathcore song.
And they're a young group of guys, dude. So
yeah,
the future's bright for them if they stick at this. Like I can't wait. If they're coming out with more music, I'm here for it, y'all. Like, and we're so proud to have y'all as a Brewtal alumni. So keep it coming, man.
Keep it coming, indeed, dude. A great pick. Was not expecting that, but again, these are always kind of hard to pin down because it is so specific.
Yeah.
With that being said, I'm going to contradict a little bit of what I just said. Todd had mentioned the song already, but I'm going with Heaven Failed Us from Monasteries for most brutal song. Again, I'm an emotional boy. I'm a sad boy at heart. Emo forever, dude. So anytime I hear something with just like super raw emotion, wow, getting the heavy and able to like really project both those things, I'm here for it. So when Josh was talking to us about Heaven Failed Us, he said it was the most personal song to him on the entire record. And you can really hear it. There's clean vocals. Say what you want about clean and deathcore. A lot of people don't think that it jives, but there's plenty of people that do. I'm one of those people. I think that, and Josh said, yeah, I know Todd's the same. There's only so much emotion you can capture with screaming. So using the cleans in the right area really makes the song pop, in my mind, way more. And that's something that I want to revisit too. I love heavy. That's what we fucking talk about all the time. But having those melodic elements to it is really what keeps me coming back for more when I'm listening to things on a daily basis. And this one just really does it for me. Again, it's just the lyrical content. It's still stupid fucking heavy, but it's also, like Todd said, emotionally heavy. And to me, that's Brewtal song contender right there. So Haven't Failed Us from Monasteries is my pick for Q3, which leads us to our final category, which most brutal band. Gorehammer, go.
Yep, you knew it, and just across the board, just pull down the curtains, like another reveal. They're something special in my heart right now. So they are getting my most brutal band right now, Q3. You guys, god damn it, you struck me with your Gorehammer.
I can see it. I can see it across it. It's like the Cannibal Corpse song Hammer Smashed Face, dude, except it's Gorehammer Smashed Face. Also, I don't remember if we talked about this. This sounds like a Warhammer 40K type of deal. Like, I feel like we should have our little figurines.
They should make a tabletop game.
Oh, damn. I think you're onto something there, friend.
I think the album artwork is a perfect little background for the board.
Maybe that's next to come. I don't know. This is the first outing, so who knows what's planned.
It's like if you get eliminated, you like get struck with
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mean to take away your thunder.
Oh no, I mean it's just we're on that same wave. You saw the glimmer in my eye.
I did. The gore was in your eye. So I'm going a little bit of an unorthodox route, which I feel like at least one of us says every time we do one of these things.
Yes.
So that's no one's surprised there, or you shouldn't be at this point. So I'm going with a person rather than a band.
Oh, okay.
I gotta give a shout out to our homie Mitchell from A30 Audio.
I like this.
Let's just go through the list of like projects that he has going on right now. So you talked about Satanic Spliff. That one's new. Then we have Tarantula FL, Heinous Exsanguination, his baby, Southern Disillusion, and then God Eater TX. So that's 5 projects within the last 2 years or some shit like that.
He's a machine. Dude, he's killing, man, and I loved having him on to talk about everything he's doing. And that single that Southern Dissolution dropped was a contender for Heaviest of the Quarter Oak, dude.
It's a great song.
That gets my head banging, bro. Like, keep it coming. I love that you're still creating new projects. You're going with the ebb and flow of things. You're like, you know what? Let's do something new.
Dude, it's amazing. And on top of that, he's running sound for Kingdom Collapse, which is more like a rock band than anything. So he's got all, again, we talked about Hunter Young earlier. He's giving me the same vibe where he understands the craft well enough to be able to mix for more of I guess for lack of a better term, a butt rock band, and then do dumb, stupid, fucking heavy shit for himself while able to get the sound that other bands want, mixed, mastered, written, produced, whatever. So I don't know. I think he's, like you said, he's in the ebb and flow. He's doing some really killer things. So Mitchell Christian of A30 Audio, that is my most brutal person of Q3.
Hell yeah, dude. I am, of course, surprised by that. I'm expecting a band, but I like the nod, and I think it's well deserved. He deserves his flowers, and let's go, baby. Hell yeah. You heard the name, remember the name, A30 Audio. I forget how he says it. I'm I keep screwing myself over with that, but
yeah.
830 Audio. Remember it, Mitchell. Once you follow him, I'm sure the other projects are going to start coming up into your do you know feed. But I love what he's doing because it keeps me excited. And I just know there is more coming because he just keeps coming out with it. I don't know. How do you have the time? Where do you have the time? But time is a flat circle here, guys. So
the Gorehammer.
Get your Gorehammer. Let's party. Get your smoke. Get your drink on. I'm already done. I was done with my beer a few categories ago, but
hell yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Hopwolves, for now we're 3/4 of the way through the year. At episode 90, this was awesome. This was a lot of fun, and we can't wait for the end of Q4, which is going to finish out the year. We're going to hit episode 100 even before then, but we're pumped, baby. Let's go.
Cheers, Hopwolves. Stay brutal.
Stay hydrated. Like,
Do your push-ups. Sorry, Josta.